Thanks, Stella. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another RJSWM's Wealth Seminar. Thank you to everybody who keeps registering and sending information and pre-questions for these. You really do help set the pace and also set the agendas for today's webinars and the many more that we're going to continue to do. If nothing else, this coronavirus has given us a new insight and a great insight to increasing communication and using webinars to talk to people just like you. So thanks very much. And thanks for sharing so much thought and ideas into what you'd like to hear today. The questions and situations posed to us today have come across some really common areas. Everybody's looking for opportunity. Everybody's looking to secure their family, looking for ideas around, am I doing enough now? Have I done enough in the past, or should I have changed things? Should I be able to review that and think about the future? How do I set myself and my family up for a secure future? How do I become empowered and gain information and ideas around the ability for me to make educated decisions or choices for my personal and financial situation? And then how do I put them together and continually review those to make sure I'm on track? They're great questions, and we'll address them more specifically during today and at the end. And as Stella just said, please feel free to type away in the question and answer section at the bottom of your screen, and we'll address those during today as well. I'm joined by three fantastic professionals who are also great humans as well, in Tony, Roy, and Kat, KP, sorry, and we'll get to those guys in a minute. What I'd like to talk a little bit about today, those commonalities and fantastic questions that you shared with us. How do we start to address those, and how do we start to build some messages around to help people just like you? So let's get stuck into a little bit about us before we talk all about. Thanks, Stella. We'll go to the next slide. I should also manage, ladies and gentlemen, we are live today. We're in multiple offices across Australia. All of these are recorded. We've got an enormous uptake, and in fact, we had a record-breaking pre-registration. So for those of you who would like to share this with friends, please let us know. We're happy to forward it on. We have got quite a number who registered but couldn't make it today as well, but a fantastic group, a really large group across Australia today. So please bear with us if IT doesn't quite work like it just did then, and there'll be a couple of changes of slides. But let's talk a little bit about RJSWM and your full scope advice or integrated advice firm. 10 locations, 100 plus staff and 35,000 clients. Fantastic business position to help you across all of your financial decisions or discussions or inquiries. Train staff to empower you to make educated choices or educated decisions about your financial future. Fantastic group. Thanks, Stella. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we help you reach your financial potential? The key to every discussion and every meeting that we have is you guys are at the center of everything we do. You see in this pictorial here shows it perfectly, putting you at the center and then surrounding you with a team of specialists. We've got accounting specialists, self-managed super fund, tax, minimisation, structuring, ownerships, financial advice, wealth creation, risk, estate planning. Enormous amount of personal advice needs to go into your goals to ensure you have a strategized, planned approach to achieving them. And of course, reviewing them along the way to making sure you're on track and making sure you're ahead of them. So surrounding you and your goals is what we're trying to do. So a wealth of financial intelligence, integrated solutions is really the key to remove any blinkers that you may have in any of your questions or queries coming to see your advice professional. No matter where you enter RJSWM, asking more questions is the key, and expanding your goals allows you to remove your blinkers. In other words, receive a deeper and wider discussion and receive more integrated advice to answer your queries, because believe it or not, and we'll talk about this a bit today, answering any of your queries in singularity actually blocks you to other opportunities. And we'll talk a bit more about that today. So our guiding vision is really making sure that you receive your lifestyle goals beyond expectation and working as a team of your professionals to help you achieve your goals. It's a fantastic place to work. Thanks, Stella. Okay, general advice warning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very wide-reaching discussion. It's fantastic discussion, and much of what we'll talk about will be really pertinent to you. In fact, you helped build it, so I won't be surprised if you hear some of your own questions out today. Please be aware our answers are not specifically designed for anybody today. So this is not individual or personal advice. It's very general in its approach and talks about lots of wide-reaching areas that you should be discussing with your finance professionals. Anybody at RJ Sanderson can direct you in the right way to have much further and deeper discussions. Very general today. If you would like to talk personally, and I think you should, because this is fantastic strategies to address your goals, then sitting with any number of the team members at RJ Sanderson is the way to go. Thank you. Thanks, Stella. Okay. The fantastic people we have with us today. Tony Sarai, head of our investment committee and also executive planner and director. Tony's going to be leading today's discussions, aptly supported by Roy Sanderson, director and founder of RJ Sanderson. So Roy's going to talk to us about accounting, business, and is there to answer any questions you have available today. And of course, also helping is KP or Katarina Pulbrook, also an executive planner, as many of you know, been with the firm for a very long time. So fantastic team here to help today. My job is to direct some questions. I do see the questions you write up on screen, and I will be directing them to the appropriate people. So please feel free to jump down the bottom. There's question and answer. Someone's come through already. I'll address that in a second. Well, here we go. How do we create more wealth and health during this time? Fantastic question from Huey. Well done. So that's a fantastic question, and I'm sure we're going to address that today, along with many others. But that really does encapsulate many of the questions we've already got. So great questions, because getting your finances right is just one part of it. Making sure your family and your own personal health and structures is also very, very important. So great question, Huey. We will come to that. Stella, if we could move on, please, to the next slide. What's on the agenda today? The current market position and what are the experts saying? For those of you who didn't join us in our previous webinar, we're fortunate enough to have our wider investment committee teams join us as well. And we had people, ex-economists from RBA, from the RBA. We've got head of Australian equities, head of international equities, an enormous amount of power and experience available to us. And they shared some fantastic global, macro and microeconomic insights into what's ahead of us and how we can be prepared for what's happening now, prepared for the future, and also some great insights on what's historically happened and how we can work our way to a better position. So we're going to leverage off that and then cover what can we learn from the experts' insights, and then furthermore, the wealth strategies for accumulators and retirees. What strategies can you put into place based on this enormous amount of insight, an enormous amount of experience that you can put into place today to start making a difference for you and your family to reach the security that you're after, to reach a point where you feel empowered to make educated choices, and to reach the point where you can feel safe and happy and start to think about other things. As Huey just pointed out, think about your health and the rest of your family because you've got your finances sorted. And then finally, what to consider during times like these. In other words, what opportunities are available to us and what can we do to start to take advantage of them.